Hello. Thanks for joining. Can you hear me well? I don't know how to pronounce your first name. I'm sorry. Is it Jayan?
You can say like Gyan. If
Gan?
okay.
Okay. Thanks for that. So thanks for joining. We'll start. I mean, everything is recorded, but I think we'll start the meeting in 2 minutes at 9, and we'll see if some of you are joining. And as an intro, more than happy if you would like to just to introduce yourself and say, let's say, why you are joining today. And clearly, if you have any topic to raise, feel free to do it. More than welcome.
I am Gyan from India. Like I am joining this community. I have been exploring Microcks code for few some time. Like
Mhm.
I used Microcks before, but for API testing, for my API testing like a few months ago. So it's feel me interesting. So like right now I am joining this to understanding the more about the community and the code, something related to topic.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that. Are you using it for your own purpose or for a company you're working with, or
And
just for?
for company I am working with, like for internship purpose, in an internship.
Oh, you mean you have intensive use? That's what you're saying? Sorry.
Where I work like internship, they are using Microcks. So for this purpose, I use like Microcks first time.
Okay, got it. Cool. Hi, Josh. Welcome.
Hi, Yasin. Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, good, good. We just started to discuss with Gan. Sorry,
Yeah, yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah.
and interesting conversation on the fact that they are already
Mhm.
using Microcks in-house. So that's
Yes.
good to know.
Yeah, one more thing I have on a bit. In a couple of weeks, we are also introducing Microcks for our testing.
Cool,
I have
cool,
proposed
cool.
solutions to my founder, and like we are adopting.
Wow, that's very, very nice. So that's also something then I'll be more than happy, especially for the two of you, because you may become your companies, let's say, may become adopters of Microc, which is great, and we love that. But will be great as well if you can, create a PR within the public adopter list when you're ready,
Sure, sure.
no rush, just to showcase to everybody that you are now a public adopter of Microcks and express and explain your use case and so on. Maybe I can start with that and show you, first of all, and that can act as a reminder for everybody within the community and all our users, and sometimes our shadow users as well, that we have an adopter file and how to, let's say, declare yourself and why and how important it is for the project, for the community, and also clearly for what we are doing within the CNCF. So if it's fine with you guys, I can start on this point. It was not, let's say, not something I've prepared, but it give me the opportunity, let's say, to come back on that. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, we can start with the this thing.
Okay, cool. So let me just share my screen. My full screen should be okay. I guess you can see my screen now. If you are just searching on Microcks adapters, I think on Google, you have a direct link here. And this is on a dedicated repo, which is organization Microcks, and the GitHub is named .github, and that's where we centralize, and that's also an important point for contribution, because that's where we centralize all the Markdown file, which are more related to all the project and sub-project. So here you can find our code of conduct, contributing guide, dependencies policy, funding, governance, maintenance list, and all that stuff. Uh, all these files are centralized in this .github repo, and we have GitHub action to replicate it on all the other repo. and we have many. If you check over here, 57 repos, sub-projects, and so on. So it was quite a nightmare for us to synchronize all the stuff at the beginning. So that's why now we have this mechanism, which means if you would like to change anything within all this file in any repo, don't do a PR on, for example, a maintainer file within Microcks CLI because we reject it. We'll ask you to do it over here because when it's done and merged, we can launch the synchronization. So that's just also a reminder on that point. Feel free clearly to check it out because as we've moved from a sandbox project to an incubating project, and I may have missed some sandbox, notation in some of these files. Maybe, I'm sure I've not checked all of them. So if you discover some, feel free to create an issue, raise a PR on that. More than welcome. And now back to the important point, adopter. So that's the adopter markdown file. That's where you can see all the companies who have declared publicly that they are using Microcks. So what we need is a link to the organization and ideally, and that's also important, a point of contact. Here you can put within the PR your GitHub account, your LinkedIn account, whatever you like. The adopter type is something important. I can clearly help you on that point if you don't know which one to choose, but we are following the CNCF definition here, which means end user with a capital E is only for CNCF members, companies who are members of the CNCF, which means they pay a yearly subscription to be a member. If you don't, you are an end user with a lowercase e. It's just an important diff. It could be another project, another CNCF project, any other open source project, and you'll see that we have some. Consultancy company, service provider, and so on. And could be multiple, we have Deloitte, which is both end user within a member from the CNCF and also a consultancy company. And what we like as well, and I think it's very important, is you shortly describe your use case and how you're using Microcks and why. So check it out. It's starting to have quite a nice list of different companies. The good point is from a geo point of view, it's clearly worldwide. And that's great. Always add your company at the end, because it's fair to remember who joined, let's say, as an adopter at the early stage, 2022. But I think Lombard Odier is using Microcks for more than five or 6 years now. So they've been the first one to join the adopter list. So add yourself at the end. And clearly, we really, really appreciate if you do it. And why? Because this is a very important point to demonstrate Microcks traction, Microcks growth, and Microcks usages within enterprises. And just for the one who don't know, this is very important for us as a project and the community to level up within the CNCF. And when we move from sandbox to incubating, the CNCF TOC members have selected and we have provided 7 of those companies and point of contact, and they have done interviews, which means they have contacted the one who would like, of course, just to ask them plenty of questions regarding Microcks usages, the pain and solution, pain of the company have, how it has been sorted out by using Microcks, what are the benefits, and more or less just to be 100% sure that, let's say, project usages is real. Let's make it this way, which is very fair, by the way, because it's important within the CNCF to ensure that we have products that are sustainable, well maintained, and also who are providing real, let's say, real life usages for cloud native ecosystem and enterprises who are using CNCF products. So to both of you, when you're ready, because you said that your company is going to use or is using Microcks now, which is great. Please create a PR when you're ready. Again, no rush, but please don't forget that because the more we have, the better it is, clearly. So thanks in advance for that. And for the one who's going to see the recording, remember, we need you for that. I've created I think it's not too outdated. I have created a dedicated blog post on that topic quite, I mean, a few years ago, just to explain why it's important. So if you need, let's say, more information, if you need to convince your manager or your marketing team or whatever, feel free to do it. You can share this blog post and just some details and technical information for the non-techies on how to create a PR using GitHub. Very easy to do. All right, so I think that's a good introduction and an important point. Now, maybe I can just start with a few points, and of course, you guys can introduce any topic. I think Archie will certainly provide an update on the LFX mentorship program, and maybe some of the stuff which are ongoing. But maybe just to start with, I've done a blog post, not a blog post, sorry, a social post a few days ago, because as I said previously, we are now, we moved from Sandbox 152 project to incubating. So we are part of this 37 project now, which is a very strong and big gap. I mean, as you can see, there's quite a lot of Sandbox project, but not that many incubating and graduated. So now we are here, which is amazing, and which also mean that we are now on the main, homepage of the CNCF. If you wait a little bit, you're going to see Microcks logo here between this graduated and incubating product. So I've created a short video for the one who don't wait for the logo to come, but that's pretty cool. And it's also a very strong recognition. Here we are. I like when we are able to do it live. That's cool. So Microcks on the main page of the CNCF, which is amazing. So thanks all again and again and again for all the contribution and all the work done, because it's all, the activities of all the community members who've been able to make it happen. So that's very cool. Now, Laurent not going to join us today because, and I'm in an hotel room at the moment because we are attending an event in the north of France, which is named Devlil. It's a very nice event, very, let's say, regional or local, but the north of France, for the one who don't know, is very well known for e-commerce, and that's where we have all the biggest French company who are doing, commerce in general, but that's where we have most of the big group, let's say. So a lot of good contact and conversation. We have had the speaker dinner yesterday, and it starts tomorrow. So I'm missing the keynote, but I'm happy to do the community meeting with you guys, and I'll move to that event right after. So very good contact with local adopters, because we have some locally, and also an opportunity to discover some others and new one and gain traction again. That's why we are also doing events. And we are lucky enough to have two talks during these 2 days who are dealing with Microcks. And we love when, with these talks at events, which are not done by contributors or maintainers who are directly involved within the project itself, but more from users. We love like the adopter list. We love when we have story regarding Microcks usages from users. So Emmanuel Perrault from a company which is named Zadzit They are doing a lot of very good and technical consulting and so on with some of the biggest company over here. And Emmanuel will do a very cool talk today. I'm not going to miss this one, and I hope to take pictures and maybe do some social posting on it, because he'll explain why contract first and how to use API in a good way, and of course, how to leverage and use Microcks. And you have done some quite funny stuff. You have created Microcks skills. I think it's on GitHub and so on, and we have already starting to discuss if it's not can become maybe a sub project or something that we can move upstream in Microcks, being able to have agents who are using skills to leverage Microcks CLI, leverage facilities to create example on the fly on OpenAPI spec and stuff like that. So we'll be at that talk in the afternoon, and tomorrow morning we have Laurent and Sébastien, both are maintainers of Microcks. And for the one who don't know, Sébastien is working at AXA. AXA France is located in the north of France, by the way, and they're going to do a code lab, a 2-hour workshop fully dedicated to a Microcks and test container library for both .NET and Java. So that's a very technical deep dive that we're going to do tomorrow. It's a very nice opportunity for all the people and attendees who like to learn really clearly, deeply how to use Microcks libraries and test containers. So that's where we are for the end of this week. And that's why I'm alone today, and because Laurent is at the keynote, and he's gonna tell me, the type of conversation he have in the morning. But so that's it for the events and so on. We have done some others. I've been at a cool event on Monday. No, Tuesday, sorry, which is named France API, and that's where you have all the API ecosystem, the French ecosystem, and so on, a lot of API management and stuff like that. So very, very good conversation. And something as well, you may have missed this one. I strongly encourage you to check the recording of this webinar, which has been done with Julia and Mauricio and Laurent. Julia and Mauricio are working for Dash Zero, a very cool observability tool in order to level up and leverage OpenTelemetry. And the recording is now available on, so let me see, Dash Zero YouTube. I think I'll do a social post on that. Oops, sorry. But I strongly encourage you to check it out. Yeah, here it is. Right. So check that recording. It's a very nice webinar in order to, let's say, show Microcks and also reshape our second project in action, and especially regarding hotel integration. So if you need to have further details on observability, check it out. Very, very nice webinar. And now, before we move forward on some other points, I think I will maybe finish, if it's fine with you, Ash, with some of the ongoing issues, roadmap, and maybe hot topic on which we may have or on which contribution are more than welcome. But maybe, Ash, if you would like to update us regarding the mentorship program, which is ongoing. For the one who don't know, if you go on mentorship Linux Foundation, here you can search Microcks, or for me, I can see my mentorship. And here you have all the project. That's the one which we have done previously, but this one is the ongoing project on which a mentee has been selected and has started beginning of the week. So, Ash, I don't know if you have any update, or if you would like to share some information on the mentee selection and the process itself, or where we are on this point.
Yasin Harsh, I think, is left because
Oh
he
yeah,
had a meeting, urgent meeting. So
Sorry, I didn't saw the chat. Okay, thanks for that. So yeah, so just to recap, mentorship Term 2 program, Monty selected. It was a very hard selection. I saw some discussion on GitHub, and that's very fair. And we clearly welcome all questions you may have. It was not easy to select a Monty. I don't remember how many applications we have had, but it's quite a lot. And Destiny here has been selected for this Term 2 project. And we have had question on that point because Destiny is not, let's say, what we may think as a very junior person within a community. But on the other hand, it clearly follow, let's say, the CNCF and Linux mentorship program rules, and especially the fact that he have not done, any obvious this program previously. And he have started to do, let's say, and demonstrate on his application, and also before by some contribution, some very strong commitment on the fact that he can clearly lead the project. So that's why he has been selected. Sorry for all the other applications who have not been selected. We know that it's difficult and hard, and can tell you that it was hard for mentors to do a selection because it was necessary to select only one, unfortunately. But please keep going. If you have not been selected, doesn't mean that you cannot contribute and enjoy yourself and provide value to the community on the project. So feel free to keep going. It's just the beginning of the story. And by the way, and just for information, last year we have done a Linux mentorship program Term 1. I remember that Destiny have applied and he has not been selected on the 7 project that we have submitted at that time. So that's also, all the stuff you have done in the meantime, which have, let's say, being able to open the door for him for this new project. Any point or question on that? Feel free to raise it. More than welcome, because I saw that now we have Tanish, Syed, Landvaya. Feel free to raise and take the mic, ask any question, comments, or also maybe introduce yourself if you have not done it already in previous community meetings. More than welcome to give you the mic.
So, hi Yassine, good morning.
Hi, Tanish.
So first of all, congrats to Destiny. I've seen his work, like that Python test container he has made from scratch for our Microcks CLI. So it was a really good work. Apart from that, I don't have any questions about his contributions. He has been really good at it, and he really deserves that mentorship. I want to ask you that that KubeCon is in India, that is 18 to 19 June. So what are your
Yeah.
plans for that?
Yeah, so thanks a lot for the warm welcome for Destiny, and also
Yeah.
thanks for your implication. And very good point. KubeCon India, we're not going to be able to join personally, unfortunately.
Okay.
We used to do and do our best to do 2 KubeCons a year. Usually we do KubeCon Europe and KubeCon North America. KubeCon Europe has been done, and North America will be, both of us, Laurent and I, will be in Salt Lake City. I think it's in October or November this year. So India, we cannot join, but clearly, and thanks for raising that point. If the local community, if you would like to represent Microcks, tell us. Clearly tell us. More than welcome to help you and see how we can do that. You said it starts in what's the date exactly? June?
Yeah, June 18 and 19.
Okay,
2 days it
so
is.
that's next week.
Yep, yep.
Okay. We don't know so far. We know that some community members will join this KubeCon, but if you and that's clearly a call to action. I know that it's maybe short from a time frame point of view now, but if you are joining, for example, tell us, and we can maybe try to do some to help you on some aspects. Unfortunately, And that's clearly something that we need to think way in advance, because KubeCon and CNCF agenda is very, very well in advance regarding KubeCon organization. But I think it's maybe too late for this one. We can usually have what we name a kiosk, which is a small booth for the project in the project pavilion area. That's completely free of charge. Just need to have, let's say, attendees and people who are going to represent the Microcks community to, let's say, do booth duty and deal with and chat with all the people who are coming regarding Microcks, what it is, contribution, the project itself, how it works, and so on and so on. So for next week, I think it's way too late, but clearly, if some of you are joining KubeCon next week in India, tell me, and I'll see. I can contact the CNCF and ask them if they don't have a free slot. From my point of view, it's way too late, but sometimes it's not fully booked. And if it's the case, maybe we can have a kiosk. Just need to have some people who are going to do booth duty and will be committed to stay on the booth. If otherwise, we can also certainly put you in touch with some local people we know, local community, and maybe and also promote on social the fact that you, for example, or some of us will be at KubeCon. You are a part of the Microcks community. And if people would like to engage and schedule a meeting or have a conversation with you, you are open for that. So clearly, possibilities are endless. Just need to know in advance who will attend. Who, if you would like to represent Microcks, more than welcome. On our side, we're not going to be present, unfortunately.
Yeah, so makes sense. My ticket is not confirmed yet, so it will be confirmed at 13, I guess. So if I will be able to join the KubeCon, I will be really happy to, you know, Microcks, represent Microcks, I guess.
Mhm.
So I'll let you know about the tickets and all. I think Vaishnav is also joining in KubeCon.
Yeah,
So
I think Vaishnav, and I'm not sure about Arsh,
hmm,
but clearly, let's if you Danish, because that's a very important point. Maybe you can open a conversation on Discord on that specific point. So then
okay.
we know who is going to KubeCon India, and then I can do my best to help you on organization on anything for that. If if you are sure you're going, and if some of you would like to do booth duty on a kiosk, tell me. I'll do my best to see if there is a free slot available.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. I'll let you know. Give me a day or two. I'll let you know.
Perfect. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a very good point. And by the way, any KubeCon, any KCD, any cloud native meetup in the world, anywhere. If you are local, if you would like to do a talk or represent Microcks because you are engaged with the community, tell us in advance. We can help you. We can, try to send you some stickers, T-shirt, maybe. Do our best to let's say to help you promote Microcks efficiently. And of course, I mean, the minimum what we can do, and it's could be quite powerful with the community we have now, is promote on social the fact that you'll be, present at that event. And if anyone would like to exchange and chat about Microcks, you can be a point of contact. So that's something that we need to. I mean, I think we clearly need to be more efficient on those aspects because the maintainers of Microcks and code owners and so on cannot unfortunately do all the event worldwide. So we also need to be more proactive with the local community, and that's a very nice point that you raise. India is a very strong community, and by the way. There's maybe one event that I can share as well. I may join, but not sure. That's async API tour. And there is one in India this summer, I think. I don't, yeah, I think there is one in Bangalore. Oops. I don't remember the date, but I think it's this summer. And I'll keep you posted because I received an invitation from the organization. So maybe I'll be able to join and submit a talk. And in any case, if you are in the area, feel free to to raise your hand if you would like to do a talk or help Microcks from let's say representing Microcks at that event. And we can clearly not on all the events. KubeCon is expensive, and unfortunately, as project, we don't have free ticket and stuff like that. We love to have some, but in some of the events, sometimes the organization help us and provide a free ticket that we can distribute to the attendees and people who would like to represent Microcks, for example, or any other open source community.
Yeah,
So
truly makes sense. And if you come this summer, really welcome to in India. So
yeah, more than happy. We've been in India with Laurent 2 years ago for I think API tour in Bangalore. It was the first time for us, and clearly we love to come back. Very, very. We love the place and the atmosphere, and the community is just amazing. So it's just at the end, for us, we are like all of you, it's just let's say a community project, non-profit, and budget is always the issue. That's why we cannot go to all the events we may would like, let's say. But
yeah.
if we are joining, more than happy to see all of you, clearly. Cool. And I think this point clearly need to do it in a better way. And thanks for raising that, because that's something we need maybe to be more, as I said, to work more proactively and to better rely on all the people who are living in this area where we have major and local events and stuff like that. Let's do that. So I count on you, Danish, to create a Discord, to open a Discord conversation on KubeCon India. So then we can check it out. And by the way, there's also this summer KubeCon Japan. If anyone in the from the Japanese friends and communities is listening to the community meeting, again, raise your hand. Feel free to tell us. More than happy to support you as well.
Yeah, I'll raise the discussion on Discord about the KubeCon India and about KubeCon Japan. I'll be not available to there, but yeah, for KubeCon
Yeah.
India, I'll be raise a discussion for that.
Yeah, same for me. That's going to be difficult as well,
Yeah,
especially from a budget point of view.
yeah.
All right, cool. Any other point from any of you? Any question? Any thing you would like to raise? If not, maybe I can move, and we can certainly conclude on that. On the roadmap, Microcks roadmap, and maybe some issues on which contribution are more than welcome. So if you go on the Microcks main repo, so my github.com microcks/microcks. Now you know that we've made big changes regarding the way we are working and developing and merge PR and so on. Everything is on master now, and then we release specific branches for new releases. If you go here, you'll see all the release note of the 1.14, all the change logs and so on, plus all the images, etc. And now everything is merged on master. I'll strongly encourage you, if you have not seen that, because we've made a huge progress, and especially on the way we describe it, on release management. The release cadence and release cycle has been strongly changed and enhanced when we move as an incubating project, because that was also a requirement and something that was necessary to do, by the way. And we have described in this release Markdown file all the process, all the way we do versioning, tagging, branches, and so on. Check it out. Everything is here. And that's also a very important point if you would like to contribute and understand the way we work. So we have decided to do, some release cadence and so on. It's always hard, clearly, to follow that cadence. But we do our best to be committed on what is described here. But what is important is all the design phase, the time that we have to build it, and the time to ship and test and stuff like that. So a lot of useful information in this file. And that's why, we've changed the way we accept PR. Everything now, and in order to make it easier for everybody, any contributors, is on master. And then check the issues, check the PR, everything that is merged will be available in the next release. So something I would like to raise is all the ongoing work on the next release. So Laurent has created this issue in order to describe the scope, because he's working with community members and so on a huge amount of, let's say, update and upgrade of some key components and framework that we are using in Microcks. And that's a huge amount of work. It introduces a lot of issues, regression and so on, and so quite busy on that aspect, but does not mean that we're not going to work on additional features as well. So check it out. I think there's some people here who have already mentioned that they can help, for example, on the Angular upgrade on migration, which is great. And feel free to join the conversation. Feel free to raise PR. By the way, and it's also something I would like to mention, I think we're going to take, for example, this one. This issue, data contract, is quite nice. We think that it's a great idea and could be a new type of contract specification we support in Microcks in order to this time to describe data and the way you will use and expose data within an enterprise. So that's a very nice point. And check the issues. We have all these issues over here. I think so. Let me see the one related to data. Where it is, data contract for mocking. This one has been raised, quite a long time ago, but ongoing discussion, conversation, and here we need some help. We need some help from people, adopters who need that, who will be able to leverage that. If you are able to contribute on a code, please join us and more than welcome. But what we need, first of all, is to be aligned all together on how we're going to do it and for which purpose, which means we need adopters, people who need it, who will help the community to support it, test it, and ensure that they're going to use it in production within their enterprises. So then it's rock solid. It's not something that we build, let's say, in shadow or without, testing it evilly. So that's also why we're really taking care in the community any new features and so on, we need adopters who are using them at scale ideally. So then we are all confident and sure that it's not just something that we tick a box, that's a new feature. It's just something that is here to stay and that is providing the value that we all expect from it. So if you are working on data contract, please join the conversation, help us to make it happen, and that could be in the next release. Same for, I think, let me check the other, we have quite a lot of other important topic. Yeah, for example, we have had a lot of requests on Bruno collection. There's a pending issue for quite a while. Bruno collection is something that is used by plenty of companies and could be supported in Microcks as well. So far, it was not possible to describe in Bruno collection examples. Now it's done. If you check at the end, now it's available. So now what we need as well is people who need that help the community to make it happen. There's Bruno collection, they have also created something which is called open collection. We need to see which one to choose, which path we're going to follow, and who can help on the coding side, but also on the testing phases and who's going to use it within the enterprises. That's important. And when we have all this information, let's make it happen. And one comment, because this is cool, we love when people are joining and asking to contribute on stuff. But if we don't know you, if you have not contributing to Microcks previously, if there's a contribution ladder with Microcks, Microcks maintainers usually never assign an issue to someone except to maintainers or code owners. Why? Because we need to ensure that people who are going to work on it will be committed to work on it till the end. And here, for example, I don't know this person, but I really like the fact that you would like to work on it. But feel free to join the conversation and raise a PR. What count at the end is what you are providing. So we don't assign, create a PR, work with the community, work collectively to make it happen. And if you are doing a great PR on Sound, yes, you're going to lead that and we'll help you to make it happen and merge it till the end. But we need to have contributors who are strongly committed, and especially on this type of new features seem to be just, adding Bruno collection and so on, but that's something that we are really taking seriously, like that data specification as well, because a lot of enterprises are waiting for that, will count on it, which means we need to have people who are going to work in a sustainability way on this contribution. So please avoid this type of stuff, please. Just work on it. Create PR, join the conversation, discuss and showcase that you are able to handle it, or at least a part of it. And again, adopters, we need you. We need you to support this maybe roadmap and new features stuff that may join the next release. Because if you need it, you need to demonstrate that you are here to support it and at least tested it efficiently. Another point, and maybe will be the latest one, we have this nice issue because in Microcks, I'll show you over here. That's something that we have worked on for quite a while. If you check the release note, all the images we are providing SBOM, bill of material, for all images, packages, Java stuff, and so on. This is generated on each releases through automation process and build process and so on. This is very important for security in order to check that licenses and so on, dependencies CVEs and so on is let's say well handled, and adopters and enterprises can use that to check it out. What we realize as well, and that's why I'm happy that we have this issue here, is clearly we don't know which adopters are using the SBOM we provide and how far they are going with it. So again, if you are using Microcks, if you rely on the SBOM we provide to do automation on licenses, checking CVEs, dependencies, and so on, tell us. Because here I met these guys at an event beginning of last week. They are working on at the European Parliament and Community. They have created something that is named SBOM Europe, and they are, let's say, strong expert on SBOM. I have had a very nice conversation with them because their goal is at the European level to let's say promote SBOM and ensure that companies are, let's say, taking care of their destiny and security and all the supply chain open source tool that they are using. So very, very good program, intense, a lot of good materials, and they have checked our SBOM. And they tell us and discovered that maybe there's some information which are missing. So we generate, and as Laura said, for Java, the SBOM using Maven plugin, but it looked like that Anthony said, yeah, but this information is missing and so on. So again, that's the typical type of point and topic where and on which we need adopter feedback. If SBOM is important for you, we have provided some. We have done our best to do it as efficiently as we can, but maybe we can improve some stuff. But if nobody is saying that they are using it and rely on it, we cannot improve anything. So if you are using and rely on SBOM, and if it's important for you, join this conversation and help us to reshape and make, let's say, the SBOM process generation more efficiently, maybe. All right, I think that's it on my side. There's plenty of other topics. Check it out. Plenty of maybe potential new features, like IBM MQ series for async API. We know that there is a lot of big banks who rely on IBM MQ. Again, missing adopters, contributors, and people to help to make it happen. But if you need it, help the community, and then it will be in the next release. So that's more or less my final point. We can conclude on that. Again, if you guys have any question, any point to close the meeting, feel free to take the mic and raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll close it, and I'll move to the DevLive event as soon as I can right after. All right, so no comment, no question. Oh, let me check the chat. Sorry, I may have missed something. Oh, no, okay. It was just Ash who was attending another call. So thanks, everybody. I'll take care about the recording of this meeting. I'll certainly send the recording as a live event next week, same day, same hour. So for the people who have not been able to join live, they'll be able to see the live stream, and it will be on YouTube and so on next week. It's just going to be a recording like an event with no interaction, but we notice that it's also a nice way, let's say, to promote the Microcks and enhance the community visibility as well. So have a good day, and we'll keep you posted on all the good stuff that we are doing and we're going to see during DevLil. And there's a question in most of Raspberry using AI. Oh, would like to tell you more on this point. Lavanaya, using AI. That's a very hot topic. I don't know what I don't know if you are able to take the mic or tell us more on your point. If is it a concern, a question, an issue, or it's just something that you think normal? I have my personal opinion, and we have also some ongoing work on that aspect because you're right. We receive more and more and more PR and contribution, which are sometimes AI generated or a lot of vibe coding, and we clearly need to ensure that the quality and testing is here. Which means, as a contributor, more than welcome to use AI. We are not against vibe coding and so on. We are also using some and starting to use it more efficiently on our own. But you need to understand what you are doing. You need to demonstrate that you have tested it as an end user and not rely only on what, let's say, AI is coding for you. Any point on that? Any concern or specific topic that could be, let's say, and something that we certainly going to raise in the next community meeting. But if you have anything on that point, feel free to share. All right, if that's answering your question, that's cool. Just on that topic, by the way, let me see if I can retrieve it. But I've started to deal. Let me see. I think I've created an issue on that because today we don't have AI policy for Microcks. It's clearly missing. I've initiated something on that. Let me see if I can retrieve it. No, I don't know where it is, but I'll keep you posted on that, and maybe we can raise that point in the next community meeting, because I've started to think about with community members about creating an AI policy for Microcks. And thanks, Lavanya, for raising that point. Because we would like, of course, like a lot of open source projects, to avoid issues with too many stuff coming from AI, or at least we want to ensure that it's done and used correctly. Unfortunately, the Linux Foundation, the CNCF, have something very vague, clearly, regarding AI policy. A lot of CNCF projects are working on their own AI policy. I've created myself an issue within the CNCF community and the TOC technical committee organization. I've created an issue on that topic just to ask, okay, AI policy from Linux Foundation, CNCF doesn't seem to, let's say, be aligned with what us, all the open source project are expecting. And the first answer was, okay, do your own and do whatever you want from an AI point of view. But I didn't realize how important this topic is. And the thread on that issue is starting to be huge. And the good point, and that was my objective, clearly, we have a lot of other projects who are now joining their forces. I may submit a panel on that topic for KubeCon North America with some members from that thread. So yeah, that's a hot topic. We have still not done both, but it's something we will work on. And clearly, that should be a new Markdown file available in all the repo. When I will initiate it, it's open clearly to contribution, feedback, and so on, because we need feedback from everybody on that topic. and it may evolve and change. Clearly, AI is going so fast that we need to make it, let's say, not restrictive or not too restrictive, but efficient for all of us. So good point. Thanks for raising that, and stay tuned because something that we have identified and started to work on. I'll share maybe in the next community meeting or on Discord the progress on that point clearly. All right. Okay, so thanks everybody. I think we're gonna close this community meeting. Thank you very much for the one who joined us live. And don't hesitate to join the next community meeting. And clearly, if you would like to raise a point, if you are using Microcks in your organization, if you are working on contribution, if you have ideas, or if you would like to do a demo on something you are working on, you know, a specific issue on which you have made good progress and so on, tell us. Floor is yours, and more than happy to have, let's say, people who are joining to showcase as well what they are contributing within the project. It could be non-technical as well. If you're working on a blog post, a use case, or whatever, feel free to tell us, and we'll reserve a slot for the next community meetings. All right, so have a good day. See you pretty soon. Next community meeting in a different time zone in 2 weeks. And next week, I'll send the recording of this community meeting for the people to watch it. Have a good day. See you soon, and keep contributing, please. Thanks a lot. Bye.